Hello and welcome to the Bat Cave, your secret hideout for Brawl gameplay and deck tech videos. I am your host, BlindBat8719. On today's video, I'm playing a fan request, building a Rootha Mercurial Artist deck. Before I go over the deck, though, a couple of announcements. First thing I want to ask my audience, if you mind hitting the subscribe button down below, help me grow my channel. If you like today's deck list, please share it with your friends. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let me know what your favorite game is in the comments section after you watch the video. Also, like trying to follow that a little bit, see if my audience and I think about the same way. Which game was my best? I'm going to be going on my friend's podcast again, the Cinematic Adventures, on August 6th. We're going to be talking about the Rocketeer for the Misfit Faction Media Network. The podcast is called Cinematic Adventures. Check them out; they're pretty awesome. I also this should be coming out hopefully around August 6th or so as well. And I will be taking a couple months off in August to just take a break and relax for a little bit. With all the announcements out of the way, this video is a request from one of my viewers, Gordon Fenning. Gordon, this one is for you. You asked me to build a Rootha deck, see how that would work out, and that was a tall task. I went through several versions. I had my friend PQ Fire help me out with this as well, just to get the ball rolling. So starting off, Rootha Mercurial Artist, 1 blue-red for a legendary creature Orc Shaman, 1/4 body. 2 generic mana, return Rootha Mercurial Artist to its owner's hand, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Now a little caveat about that. The targeting thing is pretty straightforward, but you do not get to change new modes. So if a modal spell in the deck, such as Prismari Command, once I pick the modes, those are locked in. I will get 2 copies, so if I pick modes 1 and 2, I will get 2 copies of modes 1 and 2. The second copy does not get to allow me to re-choose what the modes are. With a little caveat out of the way, what I have found to be the best way for me building this deck that I have fun with is to kind of go as big as possible. When you go big as possible, you're usually limited to only 1 spell a turn. And Rootha is a mana-hungry deck. That's why if you look at the far right of the screen, there is a lot of mana ramp in this deck because being able to cast a big spell and then copy it with Rootha, I'm going to need a lot of mana. One of the ways that helped me cheat on that mana thing is its Fires of Invention. It will be rotating out shortly come the fall, but for right now, I'm going to use it as much as I can to help me win with this deck. The other way I'm going to kind of use the win is use Fury Emancipation. Because I'm playing Fires of Invention, this gets a lot easier that I can drop this down and then play some big damage punishing spell either to my opponent's creatures or to my opponent's face. And this is one of the things I'm looking forward to winning the deck. Basically, get a Fury Emancipation out, get one of my 3 big spells, preferably Crackle of Power, and then not only have the damage tripling effect from Fury Emancipation, but also copying it with Rootha's ability, because even with, I think, X equal to 1, that's 5 damage, gets tripled to 15, and I get double it again, it's 30. I'm asking a lot out of the deck, hence why there's a lot of mana ramp, and that's why I'm playing Fires of Invention. The other big spells that I'm looking forward to copying with Rootha is Seagate Restoration. This one, when it's copied, is a really nice multiplicative or additive effect because what will happen is the first copy will resolve, and let's say I only draw 2 cards out of it. It's fine. It will probably be, the way it works out, will actually probably be 3 cards because I'll return Rootha to my hand. So now I draw 3 plus 1, which is 4, but then the second one's going to resolve. Now I get to draw 8 cards. So now I have 15 cards in my hand, and it gets pretty insane at that point. Magma Opus is an all-star in Limited in Strixhaven Limited. And again, it's a big spell, and one of the benefits of it, even though it's a big spell, is it does have that ability about discarding it to create a treasure token. So I have a way of using it early if it's in my opening hand. It's not just a dead card where I'm waiting for turn after turn after turn to cast this. One of the next things I want to do is Rootha's about copying, so I wanted to play up that theme a little bit more. So for all the copying a bit, we have Lithoform Engine, which lets me copy instants and sorceries, lets me copy activated abilities, also lets me copy permanents. I've had some practice games where I've had 2 double visions or a Fury Emancipation in play. Just even getting a double of one of my enchantments, which, because it's playing Fires of Invention, I have my mana free to activate the Lithoform's ability to get a double of some of my more powerful enchantments in the deck. Double Vision, the first time I cast a spell, instant or sorcery on each turn, I get to copy it. So that's pretty awesome in there. Just the fact that I'm again doubling up. If Rootha can't make it to the battlefield, I want other ways of copying my spells. Wandering Archaic is a colorless card. He's new from Strixhaven, And I like that, again, it creates a copy of it. So it's another way of playing a copy of my opponent's stuff. But I believe I'm able to, I copy that spell. I don't remember if I'm actually able, I may be able to copy it with Rootha. I don't really remember off the top of my head right now. But again, the idea of the copying and the theme of it, I wanted to have in the deck. And because I'm running so many instants and sorceries, or at least non-creature stuff, Shark Typhoon's just another one of those cards that if I need a blocker to kind of stall out for a little bit, I can cycle it to draw a card and get a Shark. Or if I can stick the enchantment down, maybe because I have Fires of Invention out, every spell that I cast can start giving me Sharks that I can use to beat down my opponent if I need to go around that way. The removal package, pretty straightforward for me. Fire Prophecy, 3 damage is pretty good, and I get to cycle a card through to get something that I want. Brazen Borrower, again, it's 2 cards in 1, so that's why it's in there. Same thing with Bone Crusher Giant. Magic Missile is a new one from Adventures in the Forgotten Realm that I'm kind of liking. It's kind of, to me, I want to think of it more as a better, smaller board wipe, per se, that I can try to pick off a few of maybe 1 or 2 toughness things my opponent may have. Shatterskull Smashing is doing dual purpose as a land and a spell. And then Meteor Swarm is a new one from Adventures of the Forgotten Realm that I've been enjoying as well. It deals, at 8 damage, it's really going to kill most things, as do X equal to 1. And you could probably do good up to like maybe X equal to 2 is definitely really good. X equal to 3 starts getting, depends on the size of the creature. But this is another version of like a Shatterskull Smashing that I'm enjoying. In terms of board wipes, Draconic Intervention. I know dragons are starting to run a little more prevalent in the format, but as I'm running a lot of instants and sorceries in this deck, I feel like Draconic Intervention is a good board wipe to add to the deck. Storm's Wrath has still been good. It also hits Planeswalkers. Battle of Frost and Fire. It's a blue-red card that I'm liking. Again, deals 4 damage to each creature, or it's not a giant, and each Planeswalker. And since I'm trying to go big, the third chapter will work out really well in the deck. And then Ugin the Spirit Dragon. This deck needs a little bit of help, and sometimes there's not a lot of board wipes. I know I just listed 4 of them, but they don't deal with all the big creatures that we see in the format, especially in green. So Ugin the Spirit Dragon is the last resort, biggest board wipe I can use to try to stay alive in the game. Also a win con by himself. And then now here's more of the card advantage, card drawing thing. Expressive Iterative, don't be fooled by the mana cost. This really is a turn 3 play, as usually the play pattern is to play it on turn 3, put the exiled card as the land, put the best one into your hand, and then one of the worst one goes back into the deck. Seize the Spoils. I know there's a newer one out in Adventures of the Forgotten Realm, but I like the fact that this one only costs 3, so I don't have to wait as long. It's for exactly, so for if I pay 1 more and make it an instant, that's the one from the Adventures of the Forgotten Realm. I get just an extra treasure token. I don't think the extra treasure token is worth the fact that I can cast this for 3 instead. Behold the Multiverse is just really good. Inscription of Insight. This one I like the modality the most out of this thing, especially being able to copy this with Rootha if it goes really late in the game to bounce up to 4 creatures, draw 4 cards, and then create 2 large tokens as well. I think this is really a great card to have in the deck. Archmage Emeritus, going to be drawing a lot. And again, not drawing a lot. I'll be casting a lot of instant sorceries. I'm trying to copy things, so even the copies will make me draw an additional card with Archmage. And Experimental Overload is in here, again, because it's blue and red, but I also wanted a way to bring something back from the graveyard. I know there's the new spell book with the dice rolling from Adventures in the Forgotten Realm, but that one still requires me to cast, and it takes a little bit longer, and it's an artifact. At least with Experimental Overload being a sorcery, I always have the option now of copying it with Rootha to get 2 things back out of my graveyard, and get 2 bodies. And then the mana ramp, Carfell, Harbinger, and Voltaina's Arcanist. I'm not even going to try right now. They only work for instant sorceries, but that's what the deck is built around, so that's why they're in here, and they're 2 mana ramp spells along with Arcane Signet. Midnight Clock to hopefully refresh my graveyard and refill my hand at some point. Prismari Command I usually consider as a draw spell, but it easily can be slotted into the removal bit because there are plenty of times where I will try to burn my opponent's mana dork and then blow up their Arcane Signet as well to try to really hamper their mana development. Replicating Ring, again, I chose this one because I like the fact that if I play it early enough and the game goes long, I can get 8 copies of Replicated Ring, so that I have a lot more mana to play with. Stormkilled Artist, a little bit more, again, he creates treasure tokens, which I think is really helpful for the deck, so I like that aspect of him being a body that can generate me more mana. Galazeth Prismari, he probably could be, this one clearly has been his own commander before, but I think he fits in well again. I'm trying to cast instant sorceries. then any treasure tokens I have can help, give me extra mana that way, or even if I need to use it as a one-time effect to cast one of my big enchantments. Some Simulacrum's Colors is a great all-star for the deck in terms of ramp and drawing. And then Goldspan Dragon as well as just a ramp spell and then a good body to use with him. Mana base wise, I'm running 6 islands and 8 mountains, all the fixings that I can. And then for abilities, just Castle Vantress from the card selection, Feel the Ruin to blow up so I don't want my opponents to have, and then Labyrinth of Skullfuls to kind of keep me alive if I really need it. So now with the deck tech out of the way, let's jump into the arena for some brawls. This hand is an oh yeah. I got 3 lands with a Harbinger for more mana for spells. Got a Fires to work towards. Fires from Solemn's a great turn for play. Playing against Cerdin, piloting an Orvar, the All farm. Well, I've played against a couple of these decks, but usually when it's a mono blue deck, it's probably going to be just a control deck. He may play some shapeshifter synergies, but I would entirely expect a control deck. Leading off with Seagate Restoration, so he has maybe a mana light hand. Start by saying hello to the opponent and lead off with a Volatile Ford, as that will come into play tapped. Okay, Omen Keel Mill deck, great, alright. So the turn 2 ramp play with Harbinger I think doesn't make much sense. I can see why now they kept the mana light hand. I think I want to see what my opponent does, because they got to play a creature out actually. So I have the Fire Prophecy to blow up the Omen Kill. Because they have to play the creature, or I could just kill the creature in response. Arcane Signet is good. Let me try. I'm gonna Petty Theft the Omen Kill then. Prismari Command could be pretty good in this spot too. So I'm gonna play this in. I'm gonna pay the 3 life. I'm trying to think, is it worth playing the Harbinger out? I'm torn between Harbinger and playing the Prismari Command, assuming my opponent will play out the Omen Keel again. This way I would blow it up with the command and, probably at this point do a treasure token. I'm actually happy with the Baron play here because they don't know that I have Fire's Invention that I want to resolve. Entirely possible. Oh, I'm getting another blue source while I'm thinking about it. Entirely possible that my opponent has. I'm not sure if Miscast would hit this, but maybe there is a 1 mana thing that will stop the fires from happening, but I don't really think so. And then go out with Solemn here. Get some mana ramp. We'll take the blue source. The red in hand. Their own Solemn Simulacrum. Okay. So one of the things I have to start thinking about now, permutation-wise, I do have Rootha still available to me. There's the Omen Keel. Oh, I'm already looking forward to this next turn right now. So I can cast Rootha for free from Fire's Invention, then use Prismari Command and kind of go nuts. So there's the land. Rootha for free. Cast without paying the mana cost. And now I'm going to use Prismari Command, choosing the modes. Cast it for free. Deal 2 damage to any target and destroy target artifact. So I'm going to target Baron first, and then I'm going to blow up the Arcane Signet, and then activate Rootha's ability. So that's the important part of all of this. Put her back into my hand. And yeah, I figured as much. By wiping the board and blowing up all the artifacts, opponent was going to give up at that point. So Cerdin, thank you very much for the game. This is kind of how I want to work with Rootha, by doubling up my effects, and I tend to be very mean with the prismatic command. Just that's what's been done to me a lot. But Cerdin, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. I'm trying to figure out if this one's worth keeping. I have my 3 lands to get a replicating ring. I can get Fire's Invention out. Opponent's playing. I'm playing against CorrectBear, piling an Ebondeath Dracolich. So I'm expecting some sacrifice themes, a lot of black room, not a little bit, a lot. But I think this hand can kind of get going with some stuff. Turn 1 Duress. Well, alright, there goes the whole Fires play now. That was kind of the big deal. Well, let me start by saying hello, and then lead off with Temple of Epiphany then. And we'll go over Prismari Campus. So I'm going to play this out now and eschew playing the Arcanist this turn because it won't help me cast anything. I'd rather hold on to the possibility of having Seagate Restoration. Experimental Overload will not give me back my Fires of Invention. So, Field of Ruin. I'm starting off with a Replicating Ring because this will probably go off earlier, and they know about it. I'd rather kind of keep as much I have in my hand as much secret as much as possible. Dracolich will be coming in next turn, so I better be prepared for that. So, Midnight Clock into the Arcanist. So that's 6 mana. See, there's a Dracolich. So next turn now, I actually have the 7 mana to go with the Seagate Restoration. I have all the blue required, yeah. So I think I'm going to start off with that. Never mind, we have an Agonizing Remorse. Really? They took that one. Alright, alright. Yep, those can go like that. Alright, so we're going to go with the Fury Emancipation now. Mostly because this is one of the key cards that I'm looking for in the deck. And I think that it will hopefully be helping me out more than... I think I still have time, is what I'm trying to say here. Because I got about 4 turns before anything else really bad happens to me. So depending on how much hand disruption my opponent's playing. Alright, Blood Chief's Thirst. That goes down a little bit of mana. Storm's Wrath is good. Let me see how this works. If a creature... You may cast from your graveyard a creature not named died this turn. I'm just doing the math in my head. If I play out Goldspan, I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll be a little short, so let's Storm's Wrath it now to buy me a little bit more time. Because he can't play it from the graveyard if a creature... He can only play this if a creature not named Dracolich died this turn. And I know maybe at this point I should be giving up on playing the Seagate Restoration. I should play it as a land. However, I still feel like that is the right one in this regard. Not making me sack... Oh, please. Or I thought that one made me sack an enchantment. Alrighty. I'm fine with this because actually in response to anything I could always use the Prismari command in response. Oh, wow. That wasn't the removal spell that I was expecting. That was pretty good. Alright. Now I'm holding on to the Seagate Restoration as a discard fodder for my Prismari command. This is not at all how I thought this game was going to go, per se. With them kind of just beating down with one thing at a time. Fire Prophecy. Okay, play out the land. End the turn. That resolves. And then I would say 2 damage and create a treasure token. And now it seems like my strategy should either be to play out Rootha soon, or to just start putting counters on the Midnight Clock. 10 on my turn, 11 on his, 12 here. I think it's where I'll use the treasure at this point to start speeding up the clock. I mean, if Galzo's gonna die, now's the time to die. And yeah, I'm gonna give him more options. Let's put out Rootha. Now Now let's see if he wants to kill any of my creatures. Heartless Act 1, that's fine. Got another one for Rootha? No, alright. So everything gets shuffled back in. I get a fresh set, and I have a Crackle with power. So let's see, I have my 5 mana for Crackle. Ah, there goes the Rootha idea, though. This gets to be interesting. So she is exiled. Exile it. Until that leaves... I'm going to decline. Because I could use some spells here to get her back. Though on the flip side, can I actually just win here? 5 times, that's 15. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So this should do the trick. Alright, so let's do Crackle of Power for X equal to 2. Deals up to 5 times 2 damage to each of up to... let me think. Does that actually kill... Wait, let me think. Does that actually kill the game? That's 20, right? Yeah, I should do it because it's 5 times with Imperial Emancipation. So a lot of math right here. So X is equal to 2 times 5 is 10 times 3. X equal to 2. 1 and 2, because why not? Auto pay. Alrighty, good game. Woof, got the combo to go off. Alrighty, woof. CorrectBear, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, this hand seems like an okay start. I got Command Tower for my blue. I have Expressive Iteration on 3. Ordain Arcanist on 2. Magic Missile, Meteor Swarm to help deal with the board. So I'm going to keep this. I'm playing against SoggySenpai, piloting an Aegar, the Freezing Flame deck. Another blue-red deck. Ooh, what art is this? Oh, the My Little Pony stuff. Cool. So let me start by saying hello to my opponent and leading off with my Command Tower. Opponent leads off with Island, followed by a Trickster's Talisman. So copying some giants. That seems like a neat idea. So Mountain, followed by Voldarian Arcanist. Invasion of the Giants. I haven't played with this in a while. Draw a card. Target creature, opponent, or planeswalker. Okay. A little bit of ramp in the color, so that's good for them. Let's see, this one only adds colorless, right? Alright, so that doesn't work for the Expressive Iteration. So let's start with Expressive Iteration. Get that land drop going. Put one in my hand. Oof. As much as I like fires, I have a lot of X stuff. So I think refilling my hand might be the better option, because I can think that's better. Put it in my hand. I have sadly put fires away, and we'll exile the mountain. And then I'll swing in for an attack here, because I'm not going to... There's no reason to... Yeah, only to spend in it, so I can't use this to foretell. If it was the other wizard, I'd be able to foretell before the multiverse at that time. Alright, Aegar's in play. Let's get double blue in play going on here. Do I do Magic Missile him, or do I Shatterskull Smashing him? Grazilaxx will give me only 2 mana to use. I think Magic Missile's fine here. What is he on with Chapter 2? Cost 2 less to cast. Yeah, this way the Meteor Swarm will hit harder. We'll just do that. Submit the 1. Deal everything there. And actually going to... Alright, I said this before. I can't foretell it. Alright, so the next giant cost 2 less. Whatever it is, should hopefully die to my Meteor Swarm. Or just play Aegar again, why not? Labyrinth of Scophlos. I feel like Meteor Swarm is just too much of a thing to use against him right now. If I go Shatterskull Smashing, I can do it for 3. Let me Shatterskull for 3 then. Wait, let me cancel that real quick. I think in this case, I'm better off actually tapping him to use this. This way then, I can use him for mana and then probably foretell at least. Am I doing this right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nope, doesn't work that way. Okay. So, sorry about this, guys. Alright, 3, that, submit 1, submit, tap everything, hit him for 1. I am kind of wondering though. I mean, maybe he's a little short on mana. Like, how expensive are the giants in his hands that he couldn't get a 2-mana reduction and still not cast anything? Finally, the Battle of Frost and Fire. We get rid of the pesky. Oh man, I draw the other one now. Let's see, 4/2. I think the Seagate's kind of gonna have to go here now. Backside it, pay the 3 life. Let's go with Galazeth. And the Harbinger for the other one. And now, does this give a mana reduction? No, just if we cast 5, draw 2, discard 1. Okay. 3 to the, he likes them all. Alright, so next turn's going to be... Next few turns might be a little rough, so I have to keep that in mind. Probably could also just be land. So there's a 6 land source. Delana. Okay, so playing some spicy options here. Copy of Delana doesn't do him any good, really. Let's see. Whenever attacks, sacrifice it, create a token that's a copy. So I think it's just to give it extra power for the most part, so she can. Yeah. All right. So I think this point, let me use Behold the Multiverse to scry to and draw a little bit real quick. Yeah, that's fine. Temple of Epiphany. Store and kill. I think I want the land, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put him away for right now. And then I can't foretell anything. I got 4. Swing here in the air. Unless he plays out, if he plays out a multiplier, I'm going to take my chances with the Delana attacks. Worst case, I could stop him from being lethal. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, one of the problems I think I found with Aegar sometimes is you don't have enough giants. So what my opponent has done by finding ways using Trickster's Talisman and Delana Wild Mage to make extra tokens, I think is pretty sweet. Whenever this attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. So this will miss the attack trigger. So if he attacks with Delana and makes copies of it, it's going to miss on the trigger. Do I want him to attack with... Yeah, I think it's fine. Because I think me being able to play out a double vision with a Brazen Borrower to bounce 2 of his things is probably better for me than anything else. See, yeah, so I take a little bit of damage. I'll take 12 damage here. Sure, no problem, no blocks. These copies go away. He's not going to make another copy of this because it's a legendary creature. Exile at the end of the combat, no problem. My turn. So, I don't actually have an island in play? Oh, dang, shucks. Alright, so that goes there. Double Vision comes out. Swing for 3 here. And while he's mostly aggressive, I'm just going to bounce this stuff here and kind of set him back a few turns. Okay, so Storm's Wrath. He got a little tired of my shenanigans. Okay. But I have the Brazen Borrower. I have a Shark Typhoon now. I will actually, no, with the Meteor Swarm, I would be able to actually get both by just copying with the Double Vision. Can I play out both of these creatures? I can play both things out. It's a really hard risk, though, right now. If the Shark Typhoon gets countered, I think I'm just going to pass. Into my opponent's turn, I'm going to flash in Brazen Borrower first, and then cycle Shark Typhoon. Basalt Ravager. Okay, so I take 1 point of damage. I don't think he's going to burn me out from this far. Now, copying with the Trickster's Talisman is kind of cool. Mentor's Guidance. This is a Shaman. That's a Wizard. Alright, cool. Alright, so I'm going to get a free pass on my attack and my Shark Typhoon, it looks like here. So I can start doing a little bit of damage to the face by that be 9. And then if I do 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can do 7. I don't know, I'm a little shaky. Let's see what we got here. We have this 3. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do a 4, 4. I think that's fine. Make sure I'm just not messing up my mana. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. I didn't want to necessarily lose out on point of power. Midnight Clock, Field of Ruin. And then I can play that out. I'll play out a Midnight Clock, and that should still leave me with enough mana to use up a Labyrinth of Skullflows. So I can see my opponent maybe wanting to equip and swing. So if he does that, I'll just use a Labyrinth to stop the attack and force him to kind of have an answer to my flyers. And then if none of that bad stuff happens, I can always just start working on my Midnight Clock to refill the hand. That is fine. Alright, so I'm down to a 3-turn clock. Delane is out. That's fine. Alright, pass to attackers. I'll remove him from attacking. Is he going to equip, or is he going to stop my Brazen Borrower? Okay. Experimental Overload. I think getting Behold the Multiverse is probably good here. So if I do, I think I'm going to do Meteor Swarm. Yeah, let me do Meteor Swarm, X equal to 2. 2 creatures, 2 damage each, 4 and 4. So, may have wanted to do that in the opposite order, potentially. Yeah, should have done that in the opposite order. So, because I got greedy, I wanted a bigger token. So what my plan is for right now then is to just play out Rootha. I don't really expect any hastiness from my opponent. But then my next turn, what I can... Ooh! Rootha going to say goodbye? Alright, so Rootha dies, he draws a card. Alright, so that didn't work as well as I would have liked. But now I feel like at least I get 2 tokens. Ooh. Alright, I am the greed, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, the greed. This doesn't even get exiled. I get to bring it back if I use this. Okay, I'm going to be a little greedy here. Just because I get to basically ruin his whole turn, I think. So, next, upkeep. Magma Opus. Yeah, just target those things. And then let's tap down the land and the land. 2 and... let's do 3 and 2. 3 and 1, just to be... 2 and 2. 2 and 2. If I'm gonna go crazy, let's go crazy. But I don't think they have the counter magic. Damage. And then let's tap an island and another... let's do... I guess the damage is already divided. Alright. Alright, resolve all. Draw 2 more cards. Yeah, the Battle Frost and, Frost and Fire is not as good right now. Alright, so is that enough to get me through, or are they going to keep... Oh, they keep playing on. Alright, cool. So I got 4 damage with Bone Crusher Giant and Double Vision. So that's useful. Do I have enough crazy mana? I actually have enough mana to go with a Lithoform Engine Bone Crusher play here. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. I know it's probably more polite to swing, and I apologize to my opponent now for this. But I think this is just copy everything. I think this is just a little more fun way to finish off the opponent. So yeah, I mean, so the straight play there would have probably been to swing in with both and then just shock my opponent or stomp my opponent. But I'm here to copy some spells, so I thought that would be the more interesting way to do it. SoggySenpai, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. The hand seems fine. Prismari Command on 3. I have Solemn. I have my spell lands. Playing against Detlef de Soos, piloting a Grazilaxx Illithid Scholar deck. I'm expecting basically a blue tempo deck that's going to use like cheap spells like Unsummons to keep the board clear so he can keep drawing cards. Would also expect to see a fair amount of evasive creatures in here as well. Start by saying hello to the opponent, and I got no turn 1 play, so let's play the Snarl out as is, and no need to show off anything that's in my hand. Glimmerbell, because it flies. That makes sense then. Alright, so start with the Mountain, Arcane Signet. So now I can start thinking, oh actually this is hard to shoot down actually now that I think about it. So he'll draw 2 cards off of this. Shatterskull Smashing. That would be a nice one to be able to pull off. I only get to deal 2 damage. So I could just kill Grazilaxx with it so he minimizes his card drawing at the moment. Which wouldn't be terrible per se. If I were to do that, and then I'm able to, what, in the next turn do I ramp? Do I double spell? When do I get the double spell is the question. I think him drawing 2 more cards is probably bad. If I wait another turn, I get to kill 2 things? I'm going to play out Solemn. I think playing out Solemn lets me get to 4 mana at least. And such, that will let me... That will give me the opportunity to maybe kill both the Silver Raven and the Glimmerbell with a Shatterskull Smashing. And it leaves up Prismari Command for the Illithid Scholar. Of course, my concern here is by not killing the board, or at least killing Grazilaxx, I'm giving him the opportunity to draw some more cards that may include counter magic. But I'm hoping that a little bit more he might be on the aggressive side. That resolves. Meteor Swarm definitely deals with the issue. Alright, we got another blue out here. With the issue of the creatures in play. Question is, the opponent have a negate? That's the real question here. So let's see if he has a negate, and let's try to draw it out. So 2 damage to a target, destroy target artifact. So we'll deal 2 damage to Grazilaxx, we'll destroy the artifact. Okay, untap the Glimmerbell. Alright, so he doesn't have the counter magic. Great, so that means that the Meteor Swarm will be a bigger play next turn. So I'm going to just go off the Rootha here then. And not attack. I'm getting close to maybe doing a Seagate Restoration play as well. Hopefully doubled up. So we have 5 lands, 6 mana. So next turn gets me Seagate Restoration possibilities. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think at this point it's hard to pass up the Meteor Swarm, so I need X targets with 3 targets. I have enough. Good. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so 3 there. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. So that should take care of everything. I mean, he has all those cards in hand, so not going to stop him for too much longer, but I mean, hopefully it will slow him down a little bit. His commander now costs 7. So if he starts going wide, I still have the Shatterskull Smashing to deal with a lot of his things. And I think I can just slowly build up till I want to maybe cast Rootha with a Seagate Restoration. Icebreaker Crackle. Oh, that one's a little bit trickier now to kill. Field of Ruin. If I were to double up, so I have 2. I can do X equal to 6. I think, or, if I'm not mistaken, if I do 2 for Rootha, 2, I can double up it with Rootha. So, that's what we're going to do then, because this is also a beating. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Target 1 creature. Submit. Submit. Autopay. Use Rootha. Put her to my hand. And then just kill the Icebreaker Kraken here. Entirely possible that maybe what I should have done would be to drawn all those cards now that my opponent was tapped out. But they're playing the Kraken. I don't know. I just have a funny feeling that something bad worse could happen. Maybe he plays out some blink effects. Maybe he plays out a Thassa. I think this way that he thought he had a big threat, and I feel like now I kind of can deal with that. Hail of Stormgates? Ward 3. That's going to be a big boy. Now is the time I feel like I want to try for the Seagate Restoration, the time when it's most likely going to be countered. So instead, I'm going to go with Rootha here. Play out the hand. Because even with my thinking is that this is actually a free attack, because he's probably going to probably equip or enchant this and swing it by itself. I don't see him actually going to swing this with other things, so I'm better off at this point almost actually killing his creature. I'm actually going to wait, because when he activates for the ability, I can always run response kill with Field of Ruin. Ooh. That's not cool. Alright, so there goes the Arcanist. There goes the mana that I was hoping for. Alright, so I do have enough to at least cast Seagate and copy it with Rootha. So hopefully my opponent might try to play out some more stuff. Definitely thinking end of turn I'm going to blow up the Field of Ruin. Oh, he's going to scry? Oh, this is great. He's kept it on top too, no less. Good. So I'll probably screw up the scry, maybe. Oh, Foretell's not good. That's not good. Loses all abilities. Okay, so that's a bummer. And let's blow up your land. I'll get another blue source. And they messed up their scry. Alrighty, so that worked out well. Oh, this is annoying. Fires will basically let me, though, just cast everything. Alright. Swing with Solemn. Wait at least one more turn before we fire off the Seagate Restoration. I'm fairly confident that my opponent is not really playing that many defensive counterspells, or if he is, either he hasn't drawn them or they are really expensive. Alrund's Epiphany is what I'm expecting here. Again, I should have drawn this for one card, but I feel like that would have been a waste. Alright, can't do anything there, so he draws a card off the bat. So, if this is Alrund's Epiphany, he can't cast it, which was something I think he would want to do at this point, because that's more time for him to come back. I do think then it's either going to be a counterspell. Well, let's cast this for free. Oopsie, let's do cast with alternate cost. Alright. And a hole I can't play on the end of turn. Alright, so that's my one spell. I can play out Double Vision, and let's see, he draws a few more cards, but then I get to draw more as well. So let's go with the Double Vision here. No attacks, sit back. So now here where things get interesting, because if he attacks, he'll probably just stick with the Yanti, I think, for the most part. Ooh, I have not seen Charix in a long while. That is awesome. So yeah, I didn't expect him to swing the Dragon Turtle. If he did, I just block with my Rootha to reset her and be able to get her back using all of her doubling abilities here. Dark Portal. Which one are we in? Lost Mine of Found Delver. Okay. So now is the time. Fly on that. Alright. No Alrund's Epiphany yet. Okay. I feel like doubling up Behold the Multiverse is pretty sweet. What can I kill? Nothing. So I probably want to Behold the Multiverse now, so that I can draw, look at 8 cards, or look at 4 cards and draw 4 cards, or look at 8, something like however the math works out. I don't want a command tower. I don't want a midnight clock. I want an answer to this Charix somehow. Neither of these actually. You may copy that spell. You may choose new targets. Wandering may not be terrible. in case he does have some fancy tricks last minute. Alright, so I think I'm probably dead now. Spells your opponent's cast plus X minus X, number of islands you control. He has 8. That's cutting it really close. Wait, I have one other out then. Okay, so let's Fire Prophecy, alternate cost. Gonna Fire Prophecy. Actually, the Grazilaxx doesn't really matter. Let's get rid of the Yuan-Ti right now, honestly, because that's the thing that can be unblockable. So what I'm hoping to draw into here is to draw into a Shark Typhoon. Oh, did I put my land yet? I did not. All right. Whew, got to the other out that I needed to at least not die to the Charax. No attacks. I forgot about the Labyrinth, but the Labyrinth's coming in clutch right now. I'm really perplexed as to what this card could possibly be. Past the blockers. I think it has to be Alrund's Epiphany at this point. Did he want those to go back to his? Alright, so that blocks out one thing. That resolves. He's got 10. If he pays it, it becomes a 10-7. Alright, so let's see how big it resolve. So it's a 10-7. I think that's an Alrund's Epiphany, but I think right now... if that's an Alrund's Epiphany, then I made a mistake. Okay, so... not dead yet. I got a Brazen Borrower I can look up to. Okay. So, I think now is the time to play out... Wandering Archaic. Just on the off chance that is something. I'll attack some more. Probably, actually, now that I look at it, I should have played out the Archmage Emeritus instead. That would have drawn me 2 more cards with the Brazen Borrower. Mystic Reflection. Okay, so, whew. That's so much better right now. I'll take the extra mana, actually. And then let's cast Petty Theft with the alternate cost. And let's target the Charax. Wait, what? Alternate cost. Oh, okay. I didn't realize I forgot about the extra text on him. Alright, make you spend your turn like that. I got one draw and discard spell I think still left, so I will hold on to the land just in case. Sure, tap down the Dragon Turtle. Did he miss? I think he misclicked. There's no way he would tap down Rootha here. Yeah, so I probably... well, actually, it was probably a good thing by accident that I went with the other creature instead. This way, then my Archmage actually will do some stuff now with any spells that I draw at this point. Charax, Grazilaxx. There's the Shark Typhoon. Alternate cost. Start getting that going. Alternate cost for the Lithoform. No attacks. And just end the turn. What does this do? Oh, dang. Alright. Hey. Cool. So even with attacks, he's in a tough spot right here. Alright, so I think I can see what he's trying to do here. With some of this stuff. Bring everything back. I'm fine with that sort of thing. Actually, I get to double trigger some stuff. So instead, let me draw the card here. See what he says to that. Alright, now he's going to activate the ability before blockers or before damage. Alright, so that resolves. Activate that. Activate that. Gets rid of the dragon turtle. Oh, I have to target my ability first. So while I lost out on some plays usually that are typical of, say, double vision, where you cast one spell on your turn, then a spell on the other turn to get two doubles because of the Fires of Invention, by getting out at least these abilities into play, I'm able to still function on my opponent's turn. Ascendant Spirit. The hits just keep on coming. Okay, that's a nice one to get. So let's start with the Fury Emancipation. So everybody's doing all the damage. Oh, I get to double that up. Yeah, please. So my 1/3s now deal 6 damage. 6, 12. I have lethal on board. And let's just see if you recognize that I have lethal on board. Okay, I forgot about the flash guy. But that's too late right now. He did that too late. Is he going to take the damage? Alright, 2, 3. This doesn't gain lifelink, does it? Alright, it's a 4/4. Still gonna die. Taking the blocks? What are we doing here? Alright, so I get to draw a card at least. Bring him down to 7. Gets him to think about that for a little bit. Take the action. At this point then, alright, so we go with that, and then I'd say... I think we're going to go with the Brazen Bower, as that seemed to be what he was focusing on. I think with the Ascendant Spirit was leveling this up, that I tapped down all the flying blockers. Alrighty, and that's enough. Woo! Alrighty, Detlef, Soos, thank you very much for the game. That was a lot of fun. Let's go on to the next one. Alrighty, and that is the video for today. The win-loss record for the deck is 5-5. It was a little bit better than I was expecting. Gordon, I will say that this deck you gave me was a very big challenge. It was a little maddening at times to find the way to do it. This is my take on it. I am more of a big mana, how many copies of free things can I get? So hence why I went with like the Lithoform engine, the Double Vision, and I played with Fury Emancipation enough times in other decks to realize that's a good win condition in a deck like this. I do think Rootha is on the lower tier of commanders to play with. She is very specific in how to build her and also very mana intensive. And the format, I feel like, does not tend to want to give you breathing room, especially with more tuned list. But if you want to have some fun with it, this is the way I would say try building it. I would love to see what your thoughts are on the deck and maybe what you would put in, what you would take out. If you like today's video, click the thumbs up icon down below. If you really like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know what your favorite game was that I played for you today. Again, let me know how you would change a deck. Gordon, I really hope you liked the deck. As always, thank you for visiting the Bat Cave, and have a great day.